I don't know about you, but Shakespeare is old, like really old. Nevertheless, Shakespeare has brought some pretty good stuff into our modern world, like the word accommodation or bloody, as well as some life lessons that should be taken into account. These life lessons and important messages are conveyed through his plays. The classical Old Romeo and Old Juliet lovebird type story, with multiple adaptations because of how good it is what we'll be looking at today. This play is built upon the themes love and hate. The Old Man's plays have general themes that they keep to. Romeo and Juliet emphasizes the power and danger of love through a series of events. Shakespeare represents love as this unbeatable force that drives a man to do strange things, like kill himself. However, this isn't all. Love is also seen as a beautiful connection between people built with high levels of emotion. Near the beginning of the play, Romeo meets with a woman at the ball, and they fall in love. Romeo, once finding out that his love is the daughter of the Capulet family, says, "Oh dear Count, my life is my foe's debt." After hearing that the man at the ball was Romeo, Juliet mentions how her only love comes from her only hate. This isn't the only bit of contrast, as Juliet also states how she did not mean to fall in love with a Montague, but that it was too early seen unknown and known too late, meaning that she fell in love with him unknown and found out too late. One other scene where Shakespeare demonstrates the power of love is in Act 5, Scene 3. Romeo, being next to Juliet's coffin after acquiring poison, says this. In this dialogue, Shakespeare mentions a dateless bargain to engrossing death, as if he's making a deal with death to be with Juliet after death. Furthermore, the doors of breath seal with a righteous kiss is a metaphor comparing Romeo's kiss as a seal instead of the traditional wax seals. Romeo falling in love with Juliet and killing himself to be with her after death are both examples of the overall power and force that love has on a person. In our modern society, this can relate to the LGBTQ+ community, as they are people who have been restricted on who they can love by force and should be let free to love who they want. Hate within Shakespeare's plays are shown in multiple different ways. In Romeo and Juliet, hate is one of the main themes and is mainly evident between the two families. Throughout a series of events in the play, hate is either viewed on its own or with another theme. Take, for instance, Act 3, Scene 1, where Romeo, Benvolio, and Mercutio are face to face with Capulets. Within this scene, there are multiple instances where Romeo attempts to de-escalate the tension between the two families by talking them down. Generally, this dialogue from Romeo explains how he has high levels of respect towards the Capulet family despite them being rivals. Shakespeare, although creating two rival families, demonstrates how within all hate and war, love can still be found. Despite Romeo's best attempts, Mercutio dies. This very quickly changes Romeo's mind about peace. Romeo states how his conduct is now fire-eyed fury. What this essentially means is that he is now guided by his own rage and anger due to Mercutio's death. To further emphasize his hatred and rage towards Tybalt, Romeo mentions this, which means that Mercutio is waiting and watching closely for who will accompany him into the afterlife. The understatement of Mercutio being close to Earth reminds Tybalt about how recently Mercutio was slain. The hate shown within Romeo and Juliet can be connected with our modern-day society through the hate and war between countries, like the rivalry between the two families. With this in mind, it is evident through Romeo and Juliet that not only does war lead to pointless conflict, but also how love and compassion can diminish the hate between two rival parties. In conclusion, William Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet provides life lessons important to our modern world, like how love should not be restricted and the stupidity of pointless hate. With these in mind, and many more from the play, Romeo and Juliet should be taught to all children to further share these lessons of the past. Thank you.